Okay, my friend, short ribs in the slow cooker. Look at how tender they come out of the slow cooker. Even with a spoon, you can take this meat apart. Look how easy this meat actually shreds. These are short ribs in the slow cooker. I'm using the InstaPot here, but I'm not using the pressure. I'm just using it as a slow cooker. So I have some short ribs here. Yep, beautiful short ribs. I'm gonna use some olive oil, and I'm gonna use a sazon, which is an adobo thing. I'm gonna use a bouillon, beef bouillon, and fresh seasonings here. I have the sofrito, I have the cilantro, I have the salt, pepper, and garlic, and some olives here. So all of these we're gonna see step by step. I want to start with some olive oil all over my ribs here. So This is gonna act as a binder for all the seasonings. So I'm gonna rub some olive oil on both sides, actually four sides, to make sure that the seasonings stick to the ribs here. Short ribs, these are beautiful short ribs from my local supermarket. I'm gonna season them with some adobo here, any adobo that you like. I'm using here all-purpose adobo here. So just make sure that you get that adobo or that seasoning all over the four main sides of these short ribs. This is gonna be so good. Hey, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends and family. We're doing great things here. So once you get all that adobo or seasoning all over your ribs, make sure you rub them so they actually stick to the ribs. And we're gonna saute these ribs. So the adobo is gonna burn into the skin there, and it's gonna it's gonna sear the ribs so all the liquids stay inside. So some olive oil here at the bottom of my crock pot. This is the Instapot, but I'm using the saute function here. So once it gets to high temperature, I'm gonna sear my ribs on all main four sides. So I'm gonna wait until they get that beautiful brown color on all four sides, and then I'm gonna start adding the ingredients for their slow cooking process. Yeah, just make sure they don't stick to the bottom, so move them like that, like every 10 seconds. You see that beautiful brown color? That's what I'm looking for. Whoops, this one is broken, so I'm gonna have to make sure they're staying there. And we're gonna do the same thing on all four sides. Doing the same thing on all four sides until we get that beautiful brownish color, and that means that the juices are sealed inside the ribs there. So to these, I'm gonna start adding some of the ingredients once I get to the right color on all four sides. It's just a matter of adding all the ingredients that we mentioned at the beginning of the video. I'm gonna name them again as I'm dumping in the InstaPot for the slow cooking process. This is gonna be 4 hours. So now that we have the sear on all four sides, I'm gonna add some of the sofrito. I have a video on how to make homemade sofrito. I'm gonna add some cilantro here as well. If you have fresh cilantro, even better. You can add the olive there. Everything goes in the pot there. I'm gonna add that little packet of Goya seasoning, sazon Goya. Yep, that adds a lot of color and flavor. And the beef bouillon goes in there. This is a cube, or you can use powder one. It doesn't matter, it's just to give more intense beef flavor. I'm gonna add water just to cover the ribs, barely covering the ribs. I don't want to drown the ribs in there, because the more water you actually use, you will have to increase your seasonings to keep the same flavor intact. So once they're there, you just make sure that they get all that seasoning all over, so the seasoning is all well mixed. And this is still in saute mode, so once I actually start to bubble again, like it's boiling, then I'm gonna switch to the slow cooking. You see how it's starting to boil now? Now I can actually put the lid on. This is not gonna be a pressure cooker, so leave the vent open. Venting. Leave the vent open. So it's not pressure cooking. And we're gonna cancel the saute here. And now we're gonna go to slow cook. And I'm thinking about 4 hours in normal setting. 4 hours in the InstaPot for my ribs, and you'll see how beautiful they come out. So after 4 hours, we pretty much go in there. After 4 hours, we're gonna have a cool down process, and you just go on cancel, and it will turn off the InstaPot, and you can just release the lid because this is not pressure cooking. It was venting, so there's no pressure accumulated, and there you have it. If there was, if you were using pressure cooking, then you will have to wait for the pressure to release all that pressure, and then the lid could be taken off. So take them out of the pot here one by one. We very careful because they're super tender, so tender that they can just fall off the bone by themselves. There you have it, the short ribs in the slow cooker. I'm gonna add some cilantro here to garnish them on top. Some cilantro, like I said, if you have fresh cilantro, is actually even better. If you have any sauce that you like, you can also sprinkle some of that sauce now, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. Short ribs in a slow cooker, no sauce. These are super, super, super good. Listen, remember, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share with your friends and family. Here you have it, short ribs in a slow cooker. I'm using the InstaPot, but only the slow cooking. Listen, even with a spoon, you can actually go in there, and you see how the meat shreds so easy. The meat shreds even with a spoon. You can use your fingers if you want, and the same thing, the meat will just shred apart so easy because that slow cooking broke all the connective tissue there. And as always, we always taste our food. This is really good. Como mantequilla, like butter.